श्री सच्चिदानंद सद्गुरु साईनाथ महाराज की जय। सद्गुरु श्री साईनाथ निशरत बाबूजी की जय। Rose Petals, Volume 2, Chapter 1, Arati. Arati is a mode of congregational worship in which devotees stand facing the image of a deity or a deified saint, or the living person of an exalted saint, and join in singing hymns of adoration to him or her in unison. Normally, this singing is accompanied by musical instruments such as bells, gongs, and cymbals, and the object of worship is devoutly decorated with flowery garlands while aromatic incense and musk are kept burning. Then, while the devotees sing hymns, either an officiant or a devotee slowly rotates clockwise a tray containing 5 small oil traylets lit with ghee wicks or burning camphor as lamps in front of the image or person selected for worship. Such a performance of waving lights before the image is called Arati. For the majority, worship in a congregational setting is helpful in several ways. In a communal setting, devotees can pray in a space charged with the devotional fervor of a group. While singing devotional songs in unison and beating time to a rhythm, a devotee can break through the isolation of the ego and merge easily into the group's rhythm. Singing in a group also induces a sense of expanded consciousness in which one tends to lose one's individual voice and place. The sense of being apart from the world is subtly replaced by an awareness of being part of a whole. And enwrapped in the warm emotional fervor of the group, one's isolated sense of separate identity melts away into the mainstream of collective consciousness. Besides, the intense involvement of the senses in the Arati service, visually in the aesthetically decorated idol, orally in the group singing accompanied by drums, cymbals, and bells, and olfactorily delighting in the fragrant smell of incense and garlands. All this results in the stimulation of the senses, thereby inducing a kind of ethereal, rhapsodic ecstasy in the hearts of devotees. Guruji. In Baba's Arati, we sing Thaka Gai Meri Rasna, that is, I am dumbfounded. Actually, Das Kanu Maharaj was expressing that stupefied feeling where one forgets oneself. Because he was singing and using poetry, he used the word dumbfounded. But why did his tongue become dumb? Because his mind had become numb and he couldn't speak. Again, it's the same. What we read here, we also feel as we sing the Arati. And at least to some extent, when we sing the Arati, our minds should get stupefied. That is the real Arati. Devotee. Did you used to go to the Aratis in Shirdi, Guruji? Guruji. Yes, in the beginning, I used to go to the Aratis. I enjoy them, but I don't have any attachment to them. I like to do Arati also. I have no objection to whatever is connected with Baba. Among the Aratis, I like Das Kanu's Aratis most. Somehow to me, the most beautiful Arati is the one that begins, Sai Raham Nazar Karna. Lord Sai, look on us mercifully. Kakad Arati. So when people asked me what to do in their satsangs, I said not all the Aratis are needed. If you want, you can just sing Sai Raham Nazar Karna. Then it started like that, not that I prescribed it. Devotee. What is it about these two Aratis that you like so much, Guruji? Guruji. I like everything about them. Their whole attitude, the diction, the way the sentiment is expressed and who expressed it. Devotee. You mean Das Kanu Maharaj? Guruji. Yes, Das Kanu Maharaj. He was an orthodox Brahmin who had some hesitation to take prasad from Baba's hands. Yet, he was ready to say he was a broom in his masjid. Usually for a Brahmin, the Muslims themselves are outcasts, low caste people, untouchables. They won't touch them. And the broom itself is untouchable because it touches dirt and sweeps up dust. So, in a symbolic way, Daskanu is saying, I'm not here to collect your dust or your grace. My focus is not on that. It is enough for me that I collect the dust of your devotees' feet. This is my puja, and I am happy with that. There are so many expressions like this. For example, Sathi Akaraka, companion to the end, and Raham Nazar Karna, look on us mercifully. Actually, the words he used are Islamic. If he wanted to write as a Hindu, there are other words he could have chosen in Hindi. The word Nazar and the other words he's used also show his erudition. It is beautifully expressed and beautifully felt. Unless he felt it, he could not have written it like that. Devotee. So the choice of Nazar was to honor Baba as a Muslim? Guruji. He was so confident that Baba was a Muslim that he wanted to express it in a Muslim fashion, so he used Islamic wording. Devotee. Out of his reverence for Islam? Guruji. Out of his devotion. Baba was his Sadguru. You can't say reverence, it is devotion. So much devotion that he wants to be a broom in his masjid. Do you call that reverence? There's a light word for it. He doesn't just revere Sai Baba. He's not only being reverent, it is much more than that. Didn't you read Arati Sai Baba? Some of the things I felt I have tried to explain there. In my own limited way, I tried to share my appreciation of these two Aratis in my comments on them in the Arati book. But that is only a part of why I actually like them. Some reasons amongst many others. Devotee. Narasimha Swami gives the translation of Sathi Akaraka as last moment's companion. Guruji. Yes, Sathi means companion and Akaraka means to the end. Actually, not only to the end or at the climax, but from the beginning to end, he will be there. Not like the police in a Telugu movie who will come in the last scene, but who won't be of any help, of course. Not like that, but from the beginning to the end, Baba will be there. Devotee. Is there some inherent value in doing arati with others? Guruji. It is just an expression. There is no inherent value in it. The only inherent value is the way you express it and how it makes you feel. If you don't have an expression of your own and you find this is an appropriate expression for you, then use it. No problem in it. Not that you should or should not. Some people feel it is beautiful when I sing the arati and I like to do it. I feel happy. Do it then. Not that one has to sing the arati to Baba or otherwise he won't shower his grace. That is wrong. It is only an expression, so let it be spontaneous. If you don't have a spontaneous expression of your own, try to find one which suits you from the ones ready-made around you. For example, when you want to give your best wishes to a friend and you can't think of a poetic thought, what do? You go to a shop and search through all the different cards there until you find one you like, that you actually connect to. Then you buy that card and send it to your friend on his birthday or on Christmas or on New Year's Day, whatever it is. It's not that everyone has to express their love as they do in the aratis. There are so many other ways with beautiful poetry or pictures or designs available in the world. Pick the one that suits you best and use it. Send your best wishes to Baba. Not everyone may be familiar with Baba's Arati, I know. But just sitting there and happily enjoying listening to it and looking at Baba with respect, that is participating. Someone who knows Hindi or Marathi and can speak it, they may sing. But it's not that everyone has to sing to participate. Standing there and just happily enjoying the whole thing in a group, that is also participating in Arati. This is my view. I don't think that everybody has to sing Arati, but I prefer you being there and expressing your love in your own way, because being there has the advantage of being together with others who love Baba. If a person really loves someone, then they like to be around others who also do. Those people who love me, if I am at home, they say they like to see me alone. But if I go to an installation of a Baba statue where there are thousands of people, they feel happier being there. Why? Because they are among co lovers, fellow lovers. When one's object of love is loved by so many people, then the whole expression of that love is everywhere, and that gives an added enjoyment. In Arati, what happens is there are so many people expressing their love. To whom? To the object of our own love. Seeing Baba in Shirdi, in the Samadhi Mandir, when no one else is there, is one thing, and when all the people are singing bhajan and looking at him, and the priest is doing Arati, that is another thing. That gives more joy because he is the object of our love and he is being so much loved. Then you see love everywhere, expressions of love, different expressions of love everywhere. That should give you happiness. It should increase your joy. Attend Arati, enjoy how the people are offering Arati. And being in the company of so many others is also beneficial. It has a good influence on your mind. That is one thing which is also true of satsang. Without our realizing it, sometimes the mind becomes dry, and being in a group surrounded by so many people's love, sitting among them, that dryness goes and we become wet with the love of our surroundings. Being in satsang or attending Arati with others can have that influence. So try to make yourself prone to that influence, subject to that influence, and reap the benefits of that. There is a benefit in the collective expression of love. That is why I encourage it. You can be a VIP, a very, very VVIP, but not a Sai devotee, not a devotee, not have that feeling of egolessness. Kabir said, "Main Ram ka kutta hoon, I am Ram's dog." That is what he compared himself to, and that is how he related himself to Ram, to his Baba. But we have a problem even to do namaskar 2 or 3 times to Baba's photo. We ask, why can't we treat him as a friend? Kabir could have been a friend to Ram in fact, but he related himself to him as his dog. Just like a dog, when you've given him a biscuit and he goes wagging his tail, he will always be going around you, even for only a biscuit. Feel like that. Never have these feelings of ego, that this man has spoken to me like this, that man has offended me, or this man has been disrespectful. We should ignore these things. Why have you come here? Focus on that. And respect for the ego, these things should not be there. Always feel like that. Whether you are in Shirdi or in front of Baba's picture, that is the feeling you should get. Daskanu Maharaj said, "Aapke masjid ka jhadu Ganu hai. Ganu is your mosque's broom." See what a beautiful expression it is. He never wished to be Baba's personal secretary always standing at his side. No, only a jhadu. I like that expression so very much. Kabir expressed it in one way and Daskanu expressed it in another. Devotee. What is a jhadu? Guruji. Jhadu is a broom. It is the one thing which is actually untouchable. Usually people won't touch it. In India, if they touch it, they have to wash at least their feet and hands. In the house, it is an untouchable object. But in the masjid, it is the only thing which had the fortune of collecting not only the dust from Baba's feet, but the dust of the devotees' feet also. It is the only thing, only the broom that had that opportunity, that had that luck. So he's chosen that. After collecting all the dust, it stays in a corner and nobody touches it. It is untouchable. That is his expression. You sing it daily in the Arati. But some people complain, why is he doing Arati? Why can't I do it? From tomorrow, I should do Arati. Or, When such an important person like me is here in the satsang, why should that man be asked to do arati? Yet in the arati they sing, Apne masjid ka jhadu ganu hai. How meaningless it is. So try to do the arati with meaning. In the beginning, Das Kanu was such an orthodox person. In his Brahmin tradition, in their custom, he couldn't even take the holy water that came from Baba. He thought, I am a high caste Brahmin and he is a Muslim, and so many other obstructions were there. But later, he was transformed in such a way that, just like in Indian society, a pariah, a scavenger, is the lowest of castes, almost untouchable, and among objects, the tools of the scavenger, the scavenging tool, the broom, is the most untouchable. So he chose the least important object to be himself. So, in another way, he was symbolically identifying himself as a scavenger in society. See how he was in the beginning and how transformed he became in the end. Shri Sachidananda Sadguru Sainath Maharaj ki Jai. Sadguru Shri Sainath Nisharat Babuji ki Jai.